Welcome to Code with Miracle channel. Today we are going to learn factorial using recursion. Let me quickly revise what is recursion, a function which call itself. For example, here you can see a function is calling itself. But here important point to keep in your mind is adding a condition which breaks the recursion. For example, here you can see in last video we did Fibonacci series using recursion, where you can see we have added a condition that breaks the rule, breaks this call. Here you can see in else block we have recursion calls, like it is calling the same function, but for other condition like if number of terms equal to 0 or if equal to 1, then we are immediately breaking this recursion by returning it by the returning 0 or 1. So this is how recursion works. Today we are going to work on factorial using recursion. So let me quickly switch to factorial underscore program.py. Here I am going to copy this code. We are going to convert this code to use recursion. Let me quickly go to recursion.py. Here in the bottom I am going to paste this code. Here I don't want fibo underscore recursion, so I am going to comment this out. Now let's try to paste this code which we copied from factorial underscore program.py. Now let's try to see what we can do with this code to convert into factorial using recursion. First step is to wrap the code into a function so that we can call this function again and again. We are going to call this function as factorial underscore recursion. I'm going to type factorial underscore recursion. This will take an argument, which is a single argument. The argument is the number, like what number they want to perform this factorial, 1 factorial or 2 factorial. So basically all these numbers are must be passed to this function. So here I'm going to pass n. N is the number which we are getting from the user in runtime. This I am going to comment. We don't need this one. This code we need to convert into a recursion. Let's try to comment this one. We don't need this. Here I'm going to add a condition first. In which condition we want to break this loop? So here we need to be very careful about the condition. We need to break this when the n value gets equal to 0. This will happen like say you've got 5. For 5 factorial you need to go in a reverse order, like 5 factorial would be like 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Obviously at some point of time when you decrease the number, it will go to 0. So on that case what you need to do is you need to return 1. So this is the condition which will break this recursion. Okay, if n is not equal to 0, what we need to do? We need to do some recursion calls, right? That we need to write. It is very simple. It is not like trickier than like how we did on Fibonacci. It was a little tricky, but this factorial recursion is very simple. You need to use this return keyword. Here you need to call this function. I'm going to call this factorial underscore recursion with like here I need to reduce it by 1. 5 factorial would be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So for 5 factorial we are using the number directly. So here we need to use n. So n into factorial recursion n minus 1. This is the code. We have completed it. Now let's try to run this and then we will verify the result with our factorial underscore program.py file. Here I'm going to use a print built-in function. There I'm going to call this factorial recursion. Here I'm going to pass n. Okay, we have passed n here. Let me try to save the code and I'm going to open my terminal. Here I'm going to clear my commands. Like now let's try to run factorial underscore program. So I'm going to run this one. It will ask enter some number for factorial. I'm going to give 5. If I give 5, it should give 120. If I give 0, it should give me 1. 0 factorial is 1, working fine, absolutely fine. Okay, now let's try to run this recursion.py. I'm going to run this 5. Here it will ask enter number for series. This we can skip. I think we have forgot to comment the above code. I'm going to give 4. Let's skip this. Okay, now it is asking enter some number for factorial. I'm going to give 5. If I hit enter, it should give me 120. It is working fine. Now this time before running, let's try to comment this code which we don't need here. So I'm going to comment this. Let's use control plus slash. Okay, save our code. I'm going to run my file again. This time I'm going to give 5. It is working fine. Let's try to give 0. It should print me 1, which is working fine. Thanks for watching.